Good morning, one and all. So I welcome you all once again for our software testing class. So today we are going to discuss, start with unit number 2. So you have completed unit number 2, and today is the first session of unit number 2. And in this unit, we are going to discuss about different types of testing levels and different types of testing. Yes. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about different testing levels. Then unit in the different testing levels. So we need to discuss the 4 types of testing as you discussed previously: unit testing or component testing, or module testing, or integration testing, or system testing. 4 types of testing we need to discuss in this topic. Yes, fine. So different testing levels: unit or component testing, module testing, or integration testing, and system testing. Yes, we shall discuss that in the today's class. Yes, first. Yes. So first for introduction, we'll have some brief introduction. During design stage, yes, during design stage, yes, the software is divided into components and each component is developed. So as you know, the software development life cycle is not a single phase. So it includes many phases: user requirement phase, design phase, coding phase, or implementation phase, or testing phase. So there are various phases there. Yes. So dividing the entire project into different phases there. Yes. So now what happened here during design stage, what we do? The software is divided into components and each component is developed. As you know, like for example, in the banking system, or you consider library system. So you want to develop a software for library. So in library, you can have different models. One for issuing the books, one module, one for receiving the books. Yes, one for creating to store all the books. Yes, you want to insert the data. You want to how many books are there? You want to store the data. Yes, you want to track that. So you may have different issuing, receiving, and again, student details should be there, staff details should be there. Yes, so many things are there. So you may have different modules for each. Each should be a different module there. So in the design, we divide into separate modules, and each separate module is developed. Then later, all these modules will be integrated. Why we are doing like this? Instead of writing a single program, it will be very difficult for debugging that. Suppose if there are 5 modules are there, each include of approximately 200 lines. So it will be 1,000 lines, 5 modules. So to debug, if there is a single program is there, so you need to search all the 1,000 lines there. Now what happens if you divide it into individual modules? So for example, bugs are there or errors. So it will show error in what you can call issue module. So what you will do, you'll go to only issue module and see the try to debug that. Or if there is error in receiving module, so you'll go to only receiving module and check the bugs. So debugging will be efficient or very easy if you divide it into smaller modules. That is what you call components. Yes. Practical approach is to divide the testing process into different levels. Each component has to be tested separately there. So we divide into separate modules. First, each module has to be tested. Then all the modules linked together and again tested. That is what we call integration testing, like that. Yes, the modules are then combined together and the system is built and tested. Yes, this is how we do in the case of component testing. Yes, go through this point, somebody.
During design stage, the software is divided into components and each component is developed. Practical approach is to divide the testing process into different levels. Each component has to be tested separately. The modules are then combined together and the system is built and tested.
Yes, that is what in the case of component modules, what you call. It's fine. We'll see that next. So there are different testing levels. You can see it here. Yes, the different testing levels. So business or operation level. So we call testing in actual environment. We have seen this in the V model also. Yes, this is the model in the case of V model. What we discussed that. Yes. So right, we'll go from the smallest level. So unit testing. What is unit testing? The code written by the developer. We do testing. We call that as a unit testing. So the code testing or component testing, what we call. So the developer, what you call, will write the code and we do testing. We call that as a unit testing. Yes, next is integration testing. What is integration testing? In integration testing, we test the design, whether the design is right or not, by linking all the modules. So design is being tested and we do testing. We call that as a integration testing. Then we identify or we check the specification, SRS, software requirement specification document is there, that is being given at the beginning, at the what you call, we do whether all the specifications are met as per the requirements of the client or a customer. We do testing, we call that as a system testing. Next is user requirement. So we do the testing at the customer's level or customer environment. We call that as a user requirement, whether his requirements are being met or not. That is what we call acceptance testing. Then business or operational needs, they are nothing but testing in actual environment. You might have developed the software in your organization and you want to install it in the what you call the customer systems or customer environment. There you will test what you call. So we call that as a business or operational needs, what you call. So these are the different testing levels we need to discuss in this topic. So unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing, and testing in actual environment. Yes, somebody go through this.
Testing in actual environment, business operational needs, acceptance testing, user requirement, system testing, SRS, integration testing, design, unit testing, code.
So the code level testing is unit testing. So these are the different levels we need to discuss. So five types of testing levels are there. We'll be discussing. That's fine. Next. Yes, first one is unit or component testing. That unit testing refers to tests that verify the functionality of a specific section of a code at the functional level. So we do testing, the code is being tested there. And what we test here, whether the purpose of the software or the functionality of this. Suppose you're writing a code for issuing a book in the library, for example. So in that code, whether we are able to what you can call issue a book or receive a book. The code, if you're writing it for receive a book, so with that code, whether you're able to issue a book to student or not, you need to check that. That is the functionality. So in the unit testing, we check or verify the functionality of a specific software. So we call that as a functional level testing. That these types of tests are usually written by developer as they work on code to ensure that the specific function is working as expected. So as you have seen, the testing is done at the developer's level itself, that is unit testing or component testing, because they have written the code, so they can test it very efficiently there because the code is written by the developers, what you call it. Yes, fine. So that is what you call unit testing, sir. So the developer himself performs what you call testing, so we call that as a unit testing there. So as he's written the program, it is very easier for performing testing. So unit testing is usually done. Unit or component testing refers to test to verify the functionality of a specific section of a code, what you can call this. That is what we at the functional level. So testing the functionality of a particular module, we call that as unit testing. And unit testing has to be done by the developer itself. Yes, because he has written the program and he can do the testing. So these types of tests are usually written by developer as they work on the code. So this is also called as white box testing. So black box testing is static testing, is also called as white box testing, black box testing, whereas dynamic testing, we call that as a white box testing. Yes. So these types of tests are usually written by developers as they work on code, is to ensure that specific function is working as expected. Unit testing aims to eliminate errors, construction errors, before code is promoted to additional testing. So we want to eliminate the course at the basic level there. We don't want to multiply the errors. If there is a small mistake in the unit level, so then that error can become a complex error in the later phase. So we want to eliminate the test errors at the initial stages itself while constructing the code, we can call that. Yes. So before if there is one small error in the code in the unit level, so it can become a complex error till the project is done. So that is what we want to eliminate, this all the errors at the beginning level. That is in the case of unit or component testing, what you can call that. Yes. Yes. Unit testing refers, that's okay. So we were discussing it. That's okay. For next, what do you know? Module testing. A module is an independent entity in the software. So as I told you, if you are considering a library management system, receiving a book will be one module, issuing a book will be a one module, storing the student details will be one module, staff details will be one module, and so on. So when there are different modules, we can independently test each module. And later, when all the modules are ready, we can link all the modules and we do testing. That is what we call integration testing. A module is an independent entity in the software. There. So it is independent. Yes, you can execute it individually. Later, we are going to link it, what we can call. Yes, fine. The tested units are integrated into a module. Each module is tested separately for the specification. Every module has got a specific purpose, every specific function. Each module is tested for its specific functions. If software is a database management system, the modules can be database and the user interface. What can be the modules? They can be database as well as the user interface. You want to create a table and you want to, in the table, you want to insert the data there. That can be a module, you can call it. If a database management, the modules can be a database and the user interface, what you call. After completion of testing a module level test report has to be prepared. So after doing module testing, a report has to be generated there. So not only at the module level, usually at every step, whenever you do testing, a report is generated. Even after unit testing, even after what you call module testing or integration testing, system testing or acceptance testing, always a report is generated. So we call that as a what you call, we need to generate a report there. Who has done it? Who is the author of this? What is the version of that particular software? What were the errors? What type of errors? All those things will be there in the form of a report, what you can call them. So that is what it is, a report, we can call that. So after completion of a testing, a module level report, test report has to be prepared, what you can call. That's fine. That is in the case of module testing. Next, integration testing. What do you mean by integration testing? Integration testing is a level of software testing where individual units or components are combined and tested as a group. A group of modules linked together, we do testing. We call that as a integration testing, what you can call that. Yes, yes. Integration testing is a level of software testing where individual units or components are combined and tested as a group. Then, yes, linked together. There may be 5 units may be there, 5 modules may be there. All modules linked together and we do testing. We call that as a integration testing. Then it is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested to verify if they are working as their intent to when integrated. So individually all the units were working fine. Now you want to link all the modules and you want to test it. That is what you call, whether by linking all the modules, whether all modules are working properly or not, you need to test it. That is what you call integration testing. And after linking, whether the modules are performing or giving the expected results or not. Once all the modules are integrated together, the system testing is ready for testing. Go through these points, somebody.
Integration testing is a level of software testing where individual unit or components are combined and tested as a group. It is the level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested to verify if they are working as they intended to when integrated. Once all the modules are integrated together, the system testing is ready for testing.
Yes. So that is about your integration testing, what you can call that. Next is system testing. What do you mean by system testing that? So system testing is testing conducted on a complete integrated system to evaluate the system's compliance with its specified requirements. Yes. So whether when now unit testing is over, integration testing is over, 2 types are over. Now we want to check the entire requirements are being fulfilled or not. That is what we call system testing. Then system testing is testing conducted on a complete integrated system to evaluate the system's compliance with its specified requirements. We want to check whether the user requirements or software requirement specifications are properly met or not. That is what we do in the case of system testing. System testing takes as its input all of the integrated components that have passed integration testing. Whichever modules you have linked and you have done integration testing, all the modules you link together, then you test it. That you're going to check whether the system or the software project which you have developed is being what you call generating the proper requirement as required by the customer. System testing is performed on the entire system in the context of either functional requirement specification or SRS, system requirement specification, or both. So in the purpose of system testing is to check the functional requirements or SRS is fulfilled or not. That is what we do in the case of system testing. Is it clear? So entire software we can call. The software is being checked, what you call that. The entire software is being checked whether the software is generating the proper result as per the required by the customer or the client. We check it. That is what we do in the case of system testing. Go through.
Systems.
Continue. Somebody go through.
System testing is testing conducted on a complete integrated system to validate the system compliance with its specified requirements. System testing takes as its input all of the integrated components that have passed integration testing. System testing is performed on the entire system in the specification or system requirement specification or both.
Yes, so that is what we do in the case of system testing, what you can call it. Yes, fine. We give the input and we check whether the software or your system or the project is getting the desired output or not. That is in the case of system testing, what you can call it. Yes, fine. Next, what does see, as you discussed in the previous chapter, so their requirements are that. So two types of requirements are there: functional requirements and non-functional requirements. Functional requirements, we need to test it. It is a mandatory. Whereas non-functional requirements, there are many parameters are there. So in non-functional requirements, we need to check whichever applicable for that particular project. We may not test for all the parameters. So whichever related to that particular project, we may check those parameters. As we have discussed, there are different non-functional requirements. The first one is the performance requirement, accessibility to physically handicapped persons. So performance. So what do you mean by performance requirement? Whether the software, the output is being generated at a very fast rate. It should be very fast. Whether it is giving you the correct result or not within a specified time. Performance. How is the performance? How many instructions are executed? Or how like, for example, if you consider the library management system, in 1 minute, how many transactions are possible? One book you can issue, or one book you can receive, or whatever it is that. How many transactions are possible? That is what you call. That is what you call performance requirement. Next is accessibility to physically handicapped person. Your software should be able to access by physically handicapped. Like for example, the persons with the blind, for example, blind people. How to access it? So for that, you may use some like Braille language. They know, they are familiar with the language called as Braille. So your software should be able to be accessed by physically handicapped, not only with the blind people, even like physically disabled, any other, whatever it may be that. So whether software is supporting for that or not, you need to check it. You need to provide. So there are different types of people are there. So your software should also support physically handicapped or physically challenged persons, what you call. Then portability. What do you mean by portability? Suppose your system, your software is working on Windows XP. So now whether the client may use Windows 7, Windows 10, whatever. So your software should be portable. Or you developed the software in Bangalore and you shifted it to some other part of the country. So it should support there also. It should work there also, and any OS or on any other hardware also. If you have any processor or any capacity of RAM, some minimum criteria should be there. Minimum requirement should be there. So that is what you call portability. Then security. Your software should provide security. It should be secured enough. Security is very, very important nowadays. So as we're doing online transaction, so security is very, very important. Your software should be secured enough so that the hackers should not be allowed to access your data there, as data is very, very important. Then your software should also be safety. It should provide safety, and software should support all the standards, national and international standards. Like for example, your software you're developing in your for a MNC multinational company. So usually most of the companies, they understand English language. Like for example, you're developing a software for a Japanese company. So the Japanese people doesn't know English language. So your software should be able to convert your software in what you can call the Japanese language. That is what we call. So you should support your software should support national as well as international standards, what we call. Yes. Then interoperability with other hardware or software. Yes. See, interoperability, as I told you, Windows XE, XP, Linux, or iOS, or any other machine or any other hardware. You may use Pentium, some people use other hardware, your desktop or laptop or a mobile, whatever it is. So these are all non-functional requirement. So in the system testing, so whichever parameters related to what do you call your project, those parameters you need to test. So in the case of system testing, so in the system testing, you do functional requirements as well as non-functional requirements, where you test what you can call the actual requirements of the customers are being met or not. That is what SRS, what you're going to do. Fine. Next. Yes. So these are the things what we have discussed in today's class. So what we discussed, so we have studied about different levels of testing, and the smallest testing is unit testing is the smallest entity, and module testing is an independent entity. Integration testing, all modules are integrated and tested, and system testing is done to check for functionality. Yes, in one of you go through this from here, right? We go through from beginning. Yeah, fine. Go through one of you.
During design stage, the software is divided into components and each component is developed. But practical approach is to divide the test process into different levels. Each component has to be tested separately. The modules are then combined together and the system is built and tested.
Yes. Next, testing level. Somebody else. What are different types of testing levels?
Testing in actual environment, acceptance testing, system testing, integration testing, and unit testing.
Where we do each. Unit testing, when we are writing a code. Integration testing, when the design is implemented. Yes. System testing is your software requirement specification. Acceptance testing we do at the user requirement. And the testing in actual environment, we call that as a business or operational needs. Yes, fine. Next, somebody else.
Unit or component testing. Unit testing refers to tests that verify the functionality of a specific section of code at the function level. These types of tests are usually written by developers as they work on code to white box style to ensure that the specific function is working as expected. Unit testing aim to eliminate construction errors before code is promoted to additional testing.
Yes, that is the case of unit or component testing. Next, module testing. What do you mean by module testing? Somebody else.
A module is an independent entity in the software. The tested units are integrated into a module. Each module is tested separately for the specifications. Example, if software is a database management system, the modules can be database and the user interface. After completion of testing a module level test report has to be prepared.
Yeah, so a module is, we're going to test the module individually. Then what are you going to be here? We test for example, we have database and user interface. For each module is tested for each specification. What is the functionality? So maybe, as I told, library management, one module for receiving, one module for issuing, one module for creating a student database, and so on. So we need to do testing. That is in the case of module testing. Then next, integration testing. Next, somebody else.
Integration testing is a level of software testing where individual units or components are combined and tested as a group. It is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and tested to verify if they are working as they intended to when they integrated. Once all the modules are integrated together, the system testing is ready for testing.
Yeah, so in the system testing, we test what you can call, in integration testing, where all the modules are linked and we do testing. A group of modules are tested. We call that as a integration testing. That is next. Yes, what do you mean by system testing? Somebody else.
System testing. System testing is testing conducted on a complete integrated system to evaluate the system's compliance with its specified requirements. System testing takes as its input all of the integrated components that have passed integration testing. System testing is performed on the entire system in the context of either functional requirement specification FRS or system requirement specification SRS or both.
In the system testing, after the integration testing is completed, we test the system for its requirements have been fulfilled or not. Functional requirements as well as non-functional requirements, we are going to test it. Yes, so that is in the case of system testing. We give the input and we test it whether the software is giving you the desired result or not. So when all the modules are integrated, we test the requirement specification or functional requirement specification is being tested, what you can call. That is what you can call that is in the case of system testing, what you can call. It's fine. So then we also test functional as well as non-functional requirements. So what are the non-functional requirements that has to be tested? These are some of the non-functional requirements. So we may test all the parameters which are applicable to that project, only those we may test it. That is what in the case of system testing, the non-functional requirements. Let's go through this. Somebody else.
The system is tested for non-functional requirements: performance requirement, accessibility to physical handicapped persons, portability, security, reliability, safety, conformance to national or international standards, interoperability with other hardware or software.
Yeah, so these are the things, the non-functional requirement that has to be tested in the case of system testing. That the performance requirement, accessibility to physically handicapped persons, portability, security, reliability, safety, conformance to national as well as international standards. Your software should support the as it's you're developing a software multinational company, it should follow some standards are there. Yes, then interoperability with other hardware as well as software. So these are the things what we have discussed in today's class. Just summarize the things, somebody. What we discussed in today's class. Just go through this conclusion.
We have studied about level of testing.
Yeah, first
Unit testing.
level of testing is next.
Smallest entity. Module testing is an independent entity. Integration testing, all modules are integrated and tested. System testing is done to check for functionality.
So these are the things. So unit testing is the smallest entity, unit or component testing. Module testing is an independent entity. Usually unit testing or component testing is done by the developer himself, you can call. And later all the modules are linked together and we do integration testing. And later when all the integration testing is complete, we go for the system testing to check the functionality as well as the software requirement. Functionality is nothing but functional requirement specification or software requirement specification. We are going to check. Additionally, we also check the non-functional requirements. So these are the things what we need to discuss in today's session. So with this, we'll wind up the today's session. So we shall continue again in the next class, the next session. Thank you, one and all. Any doubts? Okay, then we shall wind up the class. Thank you, one and all.